Good morning. My name is Carla Bush. I work for the University of Tennessee Extension along with the TSU Extension FCS agent for Rutherford County. And this morning we're doing greens. We have chosen colored greens this morning. And I need to immediately give credit to my counterpart, my friend in Bedford County, Whitney Danhoff, who is doing a series of phenomenal videos for Bedford County Extension and their farmers market in seasonal eating. She has done this for many years and even put out a cookbook. So this recipe is hers for collard greens. So collard greens are very well known in the South. We have them, of course, here at the market. This is a bunch, what a bunch looks like, and this is 99 cents this morning from our friend from Laos who has a booth over here. But they have a sweeter flavor. But you do need to know to definitely take out their stem. So how many of you have already had collard greens? Or you have used recipes using collard greens? Well, I don't have to tell you that dark green leafy vegetables, very high in nutrients. We'll talk a little more about that when we get to cooking. But collard greens, you can tell the difference. Kale really has a squiggly, it's kind of really leafy around the edges, but our collard greens has a pretty white stem in the middle, and it is kind of a thicker green. So it's a little more sturdy even after cooking. It has a thicker texture to it, more of a sturdy green that doesn't cook down as loosely. It is actually a member of the cabbage family, which could contribute to those characteristics. It is a cool season vegetable, predominantly in the spring and the fall, and it has a sweeter taste after the first frost. So if you're growing any of these, or if you're shopping here at the farmers market, you might look forward to that because we have had our first frost already. As far as selection, this is a beautiful leaf that she has here. The leaves are usually about 8 to 12 inches in length, and you, of course, dark green, no yellowing, insect damage. For storage, collards store better than other greens, and they can be loosely wrapped in moist paper towels and placed in a plastic bag and put in the refrigerator for about 5 days. So I have a handout for you that I'll give at the end of the program. As far as freezing, I'm a big blancher, right? So for collard greens, you need to blanch them in water for 3 minutes. Now other greens, it's about 2 minutes, but like I've mentioned, it's a little thicker of a leaf, so you need to blanch for about 3 minutes before you freeze, and then cool them, drain them, and leave about a ½ inch headspace. Now is the perfect time to stock up on your greens for freezing. And I prefer greens to freeze in bags, but that's a personal preference. That would be up to you. So, of course, preparation with any of your greens, wash in cool water, and make sure, because dirt just loves to cling, especially to the backside. So check those out. Make sure you get them rinsed, and then you can cut out the center stem, and then fold the leaf in half. And this is what we did to this bowl. So pull the stem out. These have already been washed. And this is a pretty tough stem, but I like to get as much of it as I can. So that's what it looks like. And I cut mine in half. I'll even fold it over again. I just like to minimize my cutting. And then sometimes I'll even roll it depending on how much you are cutting at one time. So these are our washed collard greens in our bowl. Now, so what I'm making today for the recipe is a braised chicken thighs with collard greens. Now, chicken is on sale at a local grocery right now for 59 cents a pound. I just thought I would mention that. So that's why this was a very economical recipe. Now what I'm using here, if you're not familiar, this is an induction cooktop. It's a really nice toy to have. So, however, if you have this toy, or if you are considering purchasing one for a loved one at the holiday season, you need to consider they have to have cookware that is magnetic. So take a magnet with you, or it will say on the box. So what I'm doing here is I'm heating up the oil and the little brown bits from where I braised, where I dredged the chicken thighs, and I removed the oil from the pot. So I have pictures because I knew Ken would just love this part as he is recording this morning, because you can't see in the pot. I took pictures. Well, I forgot my seasonal collard green. There's a big picture of it. So this is what it looked like. I trimmed the fat from the chicken thighs and then dredged the skin side in flour. Dredging is just putting it in, I used a flat plate and put the skin side in flour, all right? So then I put the skin side down only. You don't flip it, just skin side down into 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So, and that's frying it and getting that skin really crispy. So once that, I removed that and put it out on a plate. This is what it looks like. So it gives it a golden brown color, all right? So removing that, and then inside the pot now, you have all these little, you know, on cooking shows, those little bits of flavor, right? So that's what I have left in here. I've removed the oil, the excess oil, and used those. So now I'm going to add the onions. And this may cause people, we may have to make room in here. When you know, you're cooking and you cook with onions, it just, no matter what you're doing, it makes it smell really good. So when I added the onions, watch this, it looks like this. All right, you know, one day I may get one of those cameras to do the action shots, but not today. Now this induction cooktop is really great. I have an induction at home, and this is supposed to be like medium heat, so I was on 5 at home. But this little baby, I'm on 3, and it's doing just fine. I learned that on the chicken. You kind of have to watch it. And it's supposed to be an even heat, but on either one of them, at home or this one, I really haven't found that to be true, because when I was browning the chicken and just other things, it does kind of help to turn it, because even in the center, sometimes it just gets a little warmer. So, doesn't that smell good? See, we should open the door and set it up. I'm going to let those get caramelized, and then I'm going to add mushrooms, not caramelized. I don't want to go that far with it. Yeah, just softened. Thank you. You were nodding like, no, don't go that far. It's like you've done this. Have you done collard greens before? I know you two said you had. Anyone else?
It's good if you let it caramel.
It's good? Well, I do. I love onion, and I have 2 daughters, and they probably don't realize how much I put onion in everything. My mother did that. Just sneak that right in. They don't even know it's there. But I do want to cook those down, and then next we're going to add the mushrooms. That'll make it meaty. And I know we do have people who limit the meat that they have in their diet. So mushrooms are a good alternative sometimes to having meat. They can be meaty for you. I am thrilled to have my sister in the audience. And I'm thrilled, and my mother, she brought my mother. If I didn't know she was bringing mother, but if she, I understand now maybe, I was gonna put my sister Cynthia up here and let her do the cooking. I told Ken that was kind of the plan. I was like, she's coming. So I'm gonna put her on the spot, and I'm gonna let her do the cooking, and I'll just stand over there and talk. Because Ken knows how much I love being recorded. Which I will give a plug to all the Rutherford County Farmers Market seasonal eating programs, and well, all the programs, not just the food ones, are posted on YouTube. So if there's one that you missed for whatever reason, then you can look that up. And I will also mention again, Whitney Danhall is in Bedford County, UT-TSU Extension, and she's working on a series, and this is one of them. So if you want to relive this in a Whitney Danhall voice, you can watch hers. So the next thing I'm going to add would be the mushrooms. Now I've chosen Baby Bella, and you wash mushrooms just before you use them in a recipe, which I've already washed. So like the onions, you want to kind of get the mushrooms where they are soft.
Yeah.
I have to check my recipe. You know, I'm always afraid I'll be live in front of the audience and recorded and forget an ingredient. Now, if you thought the onions smelled good, just wait until I add the garlic. So we're doing 2 cloves of garlic, and this is a garlic press. I have said in other videos you need to have the toys or the tools to do, you know, the foods that you want. And fresh garlic is so good, and it makes it smell. And then that's again another ingredient that I just can't hardly cook without, and my girls don't know it. So 2 cloves of garlic. Just smell that. Yeah, and see, my family had no trouble waking up this morning for some reason. Too bad, right? They didn't get to have it for breakfast, but. So the onions, garlic, red pepper flakes. I like just a little heat. It's really not going to put that much heat, but with greens, it does help. It gives it a little kick, you know? And then we're about ready for our greens. I am scraping kind of, I've got my little rubber spatula trying to get all the goodness. But we're going to braise, so when I put the liquids in, that will also help. Woo! And this thing is no joke either. I'm going to turn that down just a little. Can you see me through the smoke? Okay, garlic, red pepper, and now we are ready for our greens. Now, this looks like a lot, but if you've ever cooked greens, got a lot of water content and it will cook down. So I'm going to add those in and let those get soft, and I'm going to put my slide so to show you this is what it looks like. So it kind of stir it around so that the greens get warmed up before we add our liquid ingredients. So we've talked about dredging. So if you're not familiar with dredging, and we're also, this is braising. This method of cooking is with liquid. We're going to braise this. So the 2 liquids that we have chosen, I'm just going to keep giving it a little, you hear it? It's calmed down some. And the air's getting calm. So the liquids we have are a vinegar, which if you eat greens, a lot of people use apple cider vinegar. This is balsamic vinegar, which I love. And balsamic has a stronger flavor. And I was introduced to balsamic vinegar with the soup called Politically Incorrect Potato Soup. Yeah. And I will be making that on Friday, because at the Friday market, oh, I know you said, oh, I'm going to miss it. We're doing a soup day, and we did chili this past Friday, but we're doing soup. Now, I cannot tell you that politically incorrect soup, you can just assume it's not good for you, right? But this is one of the secret ingredients in the politically incorrect potato soup is balsamic vinegar. Love it. And then the other liquid I'm putting in is going to be chicken broth. You could use vegetable broth, of course. But I'm going to use 1 cup, but up to 2 cups, because since we're braising, we're going to put this Dutch oven into the oven at 400 degrees for an hour. So you did plan to spend the day with me, right? Yeah, I could put you to work if you stayed. So I'm going to start with 1 cup. I might turn my heat up a little bit back up. That's about 1 cup. And then from here, I don't know if I have a picture of this next. Now, Whitney's recipe says to nestle, all right? So now I'm going to, you want to make sure there's enough liquid that it is touching the chicken. So I think I may even need, I know you can't see this, but I may have to add some more. But first I'm going to nestle. So nestle to me is a little more cozy than if I just lay it on top. So I'm going to nestle the chicken on top, but I've kept, see that crispy top? Sound like a cooking show, I know, but you can just almost hear how crisp it is because of the skin and the dredging. So you want to keep that top of the chicken crispy for the texture.
So do you cook it for the hour just to get the chicken done?
Yes, yes, and it'll cook down the greens.
Right.
So the chicken will be done, and it cooks down the greens to a softer, consistency. So this is what it looks like. And it's kind of boiling right now, but you would turn it off and then put it into your preheated 400-degree oven for an hour. All right? And I have the finished product to share with you in the back. So the handout I have for you is similar to a lot of what I said, so if you were taking notes, the recipe is on the back, but do notice, oh no, I have plenty. Do notice, this is nearly a superfood for vitamins A, vitamin K. It also has calcium and vitamin C, folate, if you're looking for that. More of that in your diet. Thank you. And this is one of the ways to try collard greens. Notice it was the first one there, in braising chicken. The leaves can be stuffed like cabbage rolls and baked with tomato sauce. Collards can also be quickly cooked like stir fry in place of bok choy or green cabbage. You can add it to pasta dishes and cook it down with tomatoes. Add vegetables, pasta, and bean-based soups. And you can cook it until it's tender and add it to dips in place of spinach. So the recipe, just as we walked through it, is written out there for you. And I did mention, the Dutch oven in the oven for 400 degrees for about 1 hour. Now, and this is why you have 1 to 2 cups, because you do need to check on it to see if you need to add more liquid to the Dutch oven. All right. I'm looking forward to sharing the finished product with you. We have it set up just outside.